In today's aviation news recap, talk has reignited around a potential stretch of the Airbus A220. Lufthansa is expressing its frustrations with Boeing, and a 787 has been grounded for 7 months. Let me begin with Lufthansa, whose frustrations over persistent aircraft delivery delays and problems at Boeing are continuing to increase following new comments. The CEO of Lufthansa Group spoke with local media and discussed how the latest delivery delays are affecting the business for more the long term. Delays in acquiring your next-generation aircraft, meant to be a fundamental part of the company's future, have been ongoing now for a considerable period. Lufthansa's head says that the costs are mounting as the company struggles to mitigate the said losses felt from the delays. While Lufthansa continues to reaffirm its stance that Boeing will get its problems and delays under control, with each passing month, this seems increasingly more unlikely to happen anytime soon. Lufthansa knows that the industry needs a successful Boeing to truly thrive, and based on a storied history, they are willing to exercise some degree of patience, but obviously want a solution to come. The ongoing frustration stems from an inability to take delivery of next-generation twin-engined aircraft that were scheduled for delivery to the company over the last few years. During the height of the pandemic, you may recall that Lufthansa pulled the plug on several wide-bodies, with a view of replacing them with more efficient twin-engined aircraft. While this was obviously an unfortunate plan for us aviation enthusiasts who simply adore your quad-engine planes, it made a lot of sense. When demand surged back though, and manufacturers faced ongoing supply chain difficulties, Lufthansa could not offer the capacity it needed with the new aircraft it had available to them. Thanks to these difficulties, the airline was forced to look elsewhere, and namely towards your retired aircraft types, them being quad-engine planes, to basically bring them back. And while they were inefficient, they were the only way to cut the losses felt from not having the right amount of aircraft available. These planes are very much viewed as a short-term solution, while Lufthansa awaits deliveries from Boeing and Airbus of your next-gen types. Lufthansa's CEO's comments only came days after they expressed concerns also on Boeing's inability to meet deadlines and delivering the 777X once more. According to these comments and the Lufthansa CEO Jens Ritter, he stated that first delivery of the 777X would now likely arrive sometime in the early stages of 2026. Which represents another unfortunate delay. As a result, if everything goes according to plan, and that is a big if, just put an asterisk there, the airline forecasts an expected entry into scheduled commercial service in time for their summer 2026 program. However, the ongoing certification of this widebody remains, yes, a very sensitive subject, following Boeing's latest difficulties with quality coming to light due to a door blowout incident. So there is much unknown on whether that time frame will shift even further. On to the next topic, and we move over to Airbus, with Breeze Airways reaffirming its interest in Airbus developing a stretched version of the A220. This would be based on the -300 variant and is per report by Aviation Week, following new comments at the Kappa Airline Leader Summit. There has long been discussions over a proposed stretch to the popular single-aisle jet that would enhance Airbus's portfolio and obviously the program. However, despite interest, Airbus has yet to formally move ahead with a stretch. As part of Breeze Airways' long-term project, the president expressed his interest in a type of plane. The new low-cost airline began operations initially with Embraer aircraft. They always had a view of moving towards the A220 at some point, but obviously the E-jets would allow them to begin operations sooner rather than later. By 2025, the airline is hoping to exclusively operate with the A220, and thus it's obviously looking to commit to the program further to enhance not only its relationship with Airbus, but its relationship with this plane in its day-to-day flying network. On numerous occasions now, Breeze has expressed interest in a stretch to the A220, most recently calling it an interesting aeroplane for the carrier if Airbus were to proceed. However, at the 2023 Paris Air Show, Airbus said that the two current variants of the A220, that being your smallest -100 and the largest -300, are a priority right now. So as a result, launching a new variant in the current operating environment wouldn't be ideal. We see words like operating environment thrown a lot when airlines and aircraft manufacturers are discussing new projects and why it is a deterrence. Basically, the operating environment that Airbus speaks of relates to the persistent supply chain issues that are plaguing them and many other manufacturers' ability to offer robust deliveries and obviously smooth production standards. The stretch was denied following Bank of America's adamant reporting that a launch would come at that very Paris Air Show. Industry sources were quick to deny these claims and reporting, and then we had Airbus's official commentary that backed this up. Ultimately, no variant was to be launched. Airbus, though, is more than aware that there is interest in a stretch A220, and Breeze Airways is actually not the only airline customer to have expressed interest in a prospective new variant. Air Baltic has been another leader in calling for an A220 stretch, primarily led on by its goal to operate a fleet of over 100 Airbus A220 jets sometime in the future. This aircraft type has been hugely important to its growth within the industry, and in a similar fashion to Breeze, it wants to continue its commitment to this plane. In the early stages of 2023, Air Baltic's chief executive told Flight Global that discussions around a stretch had been ongoing for some time, but they had yet to materialize into anything firm. While the A220-500 is clearly of interest to airlines and is being considered internally at Airbus, prioritization also lies elsewhere. Not only is Airbus still trying to recover its supply chains, but amid conflict outbreak, there is obviously that persistent effect on its day-to-day operations that it would like to remove. So while an A220 is a possibility, they must stabilize their entire business, including the A220 program, make sure it's profitable before they consider adding another variant to the mix. While it could be a fantastic prospective variant, it wouldn't make sense adding right now. Over to the final story, and Air Tanzania has said that one of its Boeing 787 Dreamliners has been grounded in Malaysia due to critical engine issues. Citing a design problem, it was highlighted that significant further investigations must be conducted on the engine to really determine a long-term viable resolution to the grounding. The most recent investigations, thanks to Aviation Nuggets, report that the engines are your Trent 1000 Package C. Interestingly, you may recall that the Trent 1000 engines were also affected during the 2010s, resulting in mass 787 groundings due to complications experienced. The latest reports, which also identify the engine type, focus specifically on the element of fatigue caused by corrosion. This is not a new thing with your Trent 1000s. Fatigue for any part of an aircraft, let alone an engine, can lead to cracking and is therefore something that needs to be inspected thoroughly. The cracking of these parts is one of the main reasons why airlines are forced to ground aircraft. In the case of Air Tanzania, this grounding has actually been ongoing for the past 7 months, so therefore it does have significant ramifications for their business. Air Tanzania is by no means a massive company, and they actually only have one other 787 jet, so immediately we know that their 787 capacity has been slashed in half. You can let me know your thoughts on this aviation news recap down below in the comments. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. Take care, be safe. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow for no doubt another action-packed aviation news recap.
And we'll fly.